Okay, so here we are. We're in Academic Adulting, Libraries 101, getting started. My name is Kate Langen, and I am the Engagement Librarian at Western Michigan University. In this workshop, we will be covering physical spaces, virtual spaces, and I will be connecting you to experts and services available for you to get help. So you will learn how to use things like how to reserve a study room, how to use the university Wi-Fi and be able to take advantage of wireless printing, whether or not it's with a university computer or with your own device. I'm going to introduce you to some of the amazing spaces that we have available. We are not just books. We are so much more than books. I'm also going to highlight some features, some services for you to get help, such as making an appointment with a librarian or even how to connect via chat, and also sign up for webinars, which you've already figured out. So yay, one thing done. So before we get started, I would love for you to answer a few of these questions. So here again is the URL that we are using if you haven't gotten there. Just really quickly, these are, have you ever been to Waldo before? This is more just an idea for me to gauge where the group is. These are anonymous. There's nothing identifying. I'm not using it for anything. And then I'm going to share the information. And then the second question I have is, if you visited Waldo before, why were you here? What brought you here? Just really quickly, I just kind of created some of these ideas. So then as you're answering, I'm going to come over to the behind the scenes and we can see the results here. Yeah. Okay. So I have one, where and what is Waldo? Yeah. Okay. So I was wondering if that was going to be the case. So Waldo Library is the main library. We do have a few branch libraries as well, and we're going to get to that. So Waldo Library is on the main campus. The branch libraries are, one is also on the main campus and one is on East Campus. We'll get there. I'll show you a little bit more there. So if I show results for why do you get here? Oh, I don't have any responses yet, but that's okay. I'm just curious to see if why people I just got a question. Should I participate in the poll? Sure, go for it. Not a problem. I'm just curious. And then I'm just curious to see where everybody is. So, and we'll come back to that in just, oh, it's not showing up. Oh, that's so strange. Oh, I wonder if I set it up incorrectly. All right. Not a problem. Maybe you guys can put in chat, tell me what brought you to Waldo. I'm just curious. If it's not working, I'll have to figure that out. I don't want to spend too much time, but I really am always interested by people's experiences. And it can be a combo, like why we visited. And this is also, some of these options are just indicating some of the services and spaces that you can take advantage of as a student. So it's also, it's kind of like a duo of like a, it's prepping you for what's to come. Yeah, solo study spaces. And I'm going to talk to you about some new spaces we have for students, which is amazing. All right, so I'm going to scroll up. Don't mean to make you seasick. So that's our introduction. So if it's okay, I'm going to move on. So I'm going to break it down to physical spaces, virtual spaces, and then services and support. So you can see on the left-hand side, I have those tabs here. All right, so physical spaces. So yes. The books. The library is much, much more than just books, but we can't talk about the libraries without talking about the physical collection. So yes, the libraries provides access to so many digital and electronic resources, but the physical collection, the books and all the other materials that we have in Waldo Library really is at the heart of our of Waldo Library. So can you guess, here I have a quick poll, how many books do you have access to in the university libraries? I'm thinking physical books. Can you take a guess? Is it 500,000? Is it 1 million, 4 million, 10 million? No physical books at all. They're all ebooks. I'll give you a second. And then I'm going to switch back over to the back end and see if we have our results. Oh, you're both wrong. Sorry, it's not a graded quiz. We have access to about 4 million physical items in the libraries. And by physical items, that can mean books, maps, videos, DVDs, special collections, rare books, artifacts in the archives. So 4 million items. And then that number increases exponentially when we start talking about digital materials and like ebooks. So yeah, pretty shocking, isn't it? It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Okay, so let's get to Waldo Library. I'm going to hover that over there. Okay, so Waldo Library, like I said, is the central library on the main campus. I've embedded a video here. I'm not going to play it, but it's about 4 minutes. It's about 4 minutes long, and it's a real. There's no one talking. It's just images and just kind of walks you through the space. So I invite you to watch this video at a later time. But it gives you some really nice visuals of what to expect when you come into the building. So the main library on campus, you see behind here on this video, that clock tower. That is when you go into that clock tower, and behind this gentleman here, that's where the library is back over here. So the library has 4 floors. And it's a combination of books and tech spaces, but also people. So this is where you come to check out the majority of your books for classes, and also all the research items that you're looking for. We also have some great study spaces that I'm going to show you in a minute. And we also have a cafe, which is fantastic, on the first floor. I have also included a map of Waldo. So I want to open this link. This is a link we found on the library homepage. And I just want to kind of acclimate you to the main floor, just so like when you go in, you know what to expect. So here we are on, I'm going to go to the first floor map. So remember that clock tower? Let's see, I'm going to get kind of fancy. I'm going to try to do the, can I get like a marker or something? I should have checked this out beforehand. Is that gonna work? Now I'm scared. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna hover with my mouse. I apologize. So over here on the far left-hand side of the map, this is the entrance. So remember that clock tower that I showed you? That's kind of over here at the bottom. So you walk under the clock tower and you go into the main library here. And you come over here, you walk in, you come into the rotunda, you show your badge, your green badge, you're wearing your mask, we say hi, thanks so much, have a great day. And then you come in through the rotunda into this main area on the first floor, and that is where the Bookmark Cafe is. Then we have a lot of study space over here with whiteboards. People are working in groups, people are working solo, people are hanging out. It's awesome. And then over on the right-hand side, that's where you have a lot of the computers for working, and then a print release station. And so the library, and then wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to go all the way back. If you follow my cursor, that's where you start to see some of our physical collection. So whenever you see letters like this on a map, that is indicating the Library of Congress call number system, which is what we use to organize the library. I'm not going to get into too much detail about that, but I am going to point you to some resources in a bit to talk about that. So when you're navigating the library, always know that there are the back stairs to go up and down, along with back elevators over here. And then up front, we also have front elevators and front stairs. So as long as you know where the rotunda is, where the elevators are and the stairs are, you should be able to navigate the library. On the north side of the building, if you look out the windows, you see the new student center being going up. So that is that is also another way to help acclimate you to the library. So north side, new building. South side is the curved the road, Arcadia Road. So that also just kind of helps you, helps situate you. So again, I'm not going to go into too much more detail, but as you go to the third floor, for example, you'll see here's the rotunda, stairs, and more spaces and numbers for call numbers. So just as a way to acclimate you to the space. It is a big building. It's big. And we recognize that for new students. Okay. Again, you can see some great pictures through this video. So as I scroll down on this page, and please let me know if there are any questions. I don't want to, I just pause for a second to make sure we don't have any questions about the study or about the building itself. So I do want to say when you come into the building, you need your green badge. And make sure you have your Bronco card, because that is your library card, and that is what you would need to swipe to use all the printers or access some of the spaces. So as I get into some of these spaces, for example, we have individual study rooms, we have group study rooms, and we also have a space designated for graduate students. The individual study rooms are located on the third floor, and those can be reserved for 4 hours. And so you would just need to go to the link on this page to reserve that study room. So you see we have all these study rooms. It's just automatically you can book online. Red means they're busy, green means they're okay. And I have an amazing new colleague who's working with me, and her name is Tracy. And she said, you know what we need to tell our students is that you use the study rooms for 4 hours. And then when you're done, go check out the massage chairs that are just by the back stairs. So I want to give a shout out to Tracy for that ingenious marketing ploy. We do have 2 massage chairs, and they are amazing. And they're right back by the back stairs on the third floor. Okay. So individual study rooms, there is no technology in the study rooms. It's really just quiet space. We ask that people not use them for WebEx or for classes because it's really on the quiet floor. The third floor is considered the quieter floor. Group studies, however, do have a little bit of technology. They have whiteboards, and some of them have monitors if you need to project or share items with a group. We have group study rooms that can accommodate from 2 to 10 people, and they can also be reserved ahead of time for up to 4 hours. They are extremely popular, so plan ahead. Chances are, if you want to drop in, though I say that now, but okay, so here's the group study room sign-up sheet. Plan ahead. Chances are if you were to drop in and want a group study room, you might not be able to use it. So just you can sign up for them 2 weeks ahead of time. Okay, so that is the group study room. Hey, Tracy, credit where credit due, right? Gotta give a shout out. So those are the study rooms, and then we have the graduate student commons, and that is also, oh, I see a typo, oh Lord. Okay, so that is up on the third floor. That is swipe access for graduate students, and this is really a place for them to do quiet work. We do have a few quiet pods, printers, and computers up there, and there are a few group study rooms within the graduate student commons that they can use that are also outfitted with monitors for to project projects. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these spaces, but these are meant to accommodate the variety of work that you guys need to do as students. And then again, on the lower level and first floor, those spaces are really considered communal, open, normal talking conversation spaces. They are lively. They are not the quiet library kind of atmosphere. So again, we'll see a variety of people either working individually at a table with all their stuff spread out, or groups of friends just hanging out. Sometimes it's just a really nice central place to meet. So that is just, if you're not getting a unique study space, you can get one that you can just come hang out in the library. So from the study spaces, I want to talk about some of the text spaces that we have. So we have some really great and unique text spaces on campus. And I mentioned the computers and printers. So we do have about 200 computers available for students to use to come in, log in with their BroncoNet ID. They can either, go to e-learning, access work that way. They can do research for the university libraries that way as well. There's just, oh, that just keeps popping up. And then, or if you need to print something off like a syllabus or a class assignment or what have you, they're all connected to the printers. So we do have those printers and computers available. You can also bring your own device in, connect to the wireless printing with your own device. And on this page, I've just given you a link to make sure you know how to do that. We use Central University IT to coordinate all of that. And this Help Hub link up there, that's kind of where you want to go for any tech help. So that's computers and printers that are scattered throughout the building, but the bulk of them are on the first floor. And then some of the other great spaces, I'll just highlight these. So we have, we have a multimedia studio and a Respondus testing room. So the multimedia studio is for audio, video editing. So it has this Mac that's outfitted with all this amazing software that you can go and reserve the studio to work on very unique audio video projects. In that same studio is the Respondus testing room. Respondus is a testing software. You probably are more familiar with it as students than I am. I actually just learned about it putting this presentation together, but Respondus is a space where you can go to take a proctored test. If you need to do like a locked test, that's where you go for this. And I've put the name of the person who is responsible for coordinating that those spaces. His name is Alex. He's amazing. He can help you out with everything. Also on the lower level, we have a VR lab, which is outfitted with not only educational VR software, but also a lot of really fun games. So if you need a break and just want to play games come visit with your friends, come to the VR lab. We have a whole bunch. It's drop-in, no reservations are needed. The hours are listed on this page. And then down here is a list of available titles that you can check out. So it's pretty fantastic. I don't get down there enough, so maybe I'll plan on doing that next week. I don't know. VR lab, lower level. And then we also have 3D printers. This is also, oh my gosh, I want to say lower level, but I don't want to give you the wrong information. So we do have some 3D printers that are available. You do need to submit a request to print off anything in the through the 3D printers. And yes, they are in Waldo Library lower level next to the VR lab. There are some parameters for using the 3D printers. The print job can only take up to 6 hours, and then you need to coordinate and submit a request through this request here. So you can't just drop in and ask, but you have to do a request. And I actually, on the guide, I actually give you an image of what that request looks like. It just asks you, like over here, there's some help questions. You just have to indicate where the model came from, give the URL for that, and when you want to stop by to print it, and then just what your name, all that basic stuff. So that's what that request looks like, just an FYI. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for Waldo. That's a lot of information. I hope I've given you some ideas about what you can expect when in Waldo Library. And then I do want to shift over to our 2 branch libraries. But before I do, are there any questions about Waldo? For spaces in particular, I'm going to get to virtual and people in just a second. Okay, I don't see anything cropping up. And is my sound still good? Is my connection okay? Just do a check. Awesome, thank you. All right, so now I am going to move on to our branch libraries. We have two branch libraries. One is called Zhang Legacy Collection. There's another typo. You guys, my life is riddled with typos. And so now I need to jot that down so I can go back and correct them. But it'll forever be encapsulated in a video, so yay me. So Zhang Legacy Collection Center is on Oakland Drive. It is not on the main campus. It's considered to be a part of East Campus. So there is Western parking. And the Zhang Legacy Collection has three main components to what they house. They have the WMU archives, which is yearbooks, catalogs, photographs, all things Western Michigan, the history of Western Michigan. The next major thing is that it is the regional history collection. And so the Zhang Legacy Collection houses letters, diaries, oral histories, photos, public records, which is quite a bit, and everything that has to do with the history of Southwest Michigan. A really great example of this is yesterday I helped a patron with a question, and they wanted to find a map of Kalamazoo, specifically Lake Street, from 1892. And we have it. So they were looking for the plats, which is telling you where the house, where the parameters are for each property for that street. So that's the kind of regional history that we deal with. Happens quite a bit. We serve all of Southwest Michigan. The next major collection in the Zhang Legacy Collection is Special Collections. Special Collections is our unique collection of rare books and rare materials and rare collections. For example, we have medieval manuscripts, an image here. We have collections of rare children's pop-up books or women's poetry. We have some pretty amazing collections through the Rare Book Room. Anyone can go to the Zhang Legacy Center. There is some parking there. It's limited, so I would call over and double check with them. Students can come in. You need to show your green badge. If you want to, you can't access all of these materials. You would have to coordinate with somebody to get materials out for you to display. And sometimes that can't happen on the same day. So you might have to plan ahead of time because these are rare and precious items. So they're not out like in the books, like at Waldo. There's something that that are protected, and you can't touch them, stuff like that. Yes, Lexi. Yes, super cool. Go, go, go. Yeah. Yes, it's pretty amazing. Finally, our other online on-campus location is the Swain Library. This is housed on the second floor of Sangren, which is to the north of Waldo Library. Swain Library is not the same kind of library that Waldo Library is. It does not have any books or materials there for you to check out. Instead, it is considered a community space where we have campus partners who use the space for their own engagement. And the 4 campus partners that we are collaborating with this year are the Center for Community Engagement, Global Learning Academy, Peer Academic Success Coaching, and Starting Gate. So if you're familiar with any of those campus partners, you may have been to Swain Library. So really quickly, before we move on to virtual spaces, I want to check in. So regarding physical spaces in the libraries, this is a poll at the bottom of that second page of the physical spaces. What spaces in the libraries are you excited to use? What's something that's new or just intriguing that you're maybe itching to try? Massage chairs, 3rd floor. All right, I'm going to come down here to the poll and I want to see what you guys say. Oh, nothing yet. Oh, you know, I wonder if there's a lag. I bet there's some like, because I'm noticing that the other poll did finally record. So I'm wondering if it's maybe the software we're using is a lag. I'll check them out later. So I'm gonna, yeah, that's strange. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll check them out later, or you can type them in to my into chat to share. All right, sorry to make you seasick. I'm gonna scroll all the way up. So we've done physical spaces, and now we're gonna go to virtual spaces. So yes, the physical entity of Waldo Library is at the heart of our library. However, you cannot take advantage of the materials in Waldo without using the library website. The library website is the main portal or gateway, whatever you want to call it, to everything related to the libraries. You use the main library website to find materials. You use the main library website to access and reserve spaces, and you use the library website to make appointments or get research help with subject experts and sign up for, say, webinars. So rather than look at this LibGuide, I actually want to go over to the library website really quickly and give you an overview, but I do want to highlight a few things on this page before I do that. I do have some videos here, how to use the library homepage. So if you miss something or forget it, you can come back and watch this. And then down here, we're going to talk a little bit about library search, but not a ton, just because of time. But there are some videos on how to use library search to find an article and how to use library search to find a book. So I just want you to know that all that information is here, so you don't have to like feel stressed in trying to remember it all. All right, so let me go ahead and open up the website. The first thing I want to emphasize is always, when you're starting with research or anything related to the libraries, always go to wmich.edu/library. I recognize that GoWMU, the student portal, has a tab for the university library. That is a watered down version of what this website is. The university library's website is very different from any other official university library or official university website. Our website, the library's website, brings together hundreds and hundreds of types of information and resources and consolidates it all for you. That said, it can be a little overwhelming, so I just want to try to demystify some of this. So the library website is the main search feature, right? So down here, I talked about library search. Library search is our gateway to finding to any sort of information, ebooks, articles, books, streaming media, whatever you need. You would just use this search bar here to search for something. So you could type an author, you could type a title of a book, you could just type keywords, and that you would search. So I don't know, I'm just going to do Martin Luther King Jr. because isn't the holiday coming up? That's coming up on Monday. Do I have it spelled correctly? And look, I'm just going to do search. It's going to run that search. So that is the one most important thing that you need to know about the university website I'm not going to go into these details here, but this is where you get access to books and articles. And you can refer back to that video, the videos on the webpage to review that. All the information I told you about accessing study rooms. If you go to visit here so this gold bar here is where you're going to find all the tools you need. So we have find, borrow. This is information on how to borrow and information about your account, how to get help, how to find libraries or chat or make an appointment, visit, events for workshops, right? So it's going through. And then as I scroll down, notice there that we provide different ways to access the information. So maybe you just want to Library Search is like a mall. It is created from multiple databases. So Library Search searches all databases, but maybe you just want to go to one unique database like a store, then you go here. Maybe you just want to get even more granular and search by journal, go here. For example, I don't want to make you an expert right now, but this is where we go. I'm going to mention courses and subject guides. That's here as well. Keep scrolling down. Library account, course reserve, interlibrary loan. We're not going to touch on that today. Down here, this should look familiar. These are the spaces that you can quickly access. Scroll down even further. The further down you get is actually, I think, becomes a little bit easier. Here you can get chat help, connect with a librarian, or FAQs. I'm going to go over these again. And then some just information. So really quickly, that is the library homepage. I know it's a very fast overview. We are going to be offering a workshop on library search specifically, so be on the lookout for that. It isn't scheduled yet, but it's happening. So, okay, so let me, are there any questions about the library website? And I mentioned starting with the library website because part of the way that we access all these different tools here requires authentication, meaning they need to recognize that you are a valid Western Michigan student. And we have code. I know this is really maybe a little too much, but like databases and searching might not work as well if you're searching outside of the library website. So that's why we try to drive you here to bypass all of that confusion. Okay, I hope I didn't lose you. But again, I invite you to watch this video again on how to use the website. I think this one's maybe 2 minutes long. You will notice that the layout's a little different, but it does hit a lot of the highlights about what we cover. We just need to update to show the layout being exactly the same. And again, for library search, really quickly, when you are using library search, remember that, and if you are getting a book, your Bronco ID is your library card. You can borrow up to 100 items. Loan periods for students are typically till the end of the semester, and there are ways to renew materials online through your library account through the library website. So again, if you're interested in learning more about how to use library search prior to the workshop to be scheduled, I invite you to watch these 2 videos here. They're not very long. They just kind of walk you through the process. As I scroll down, like I said, there are different ways to browse for information. There are the databases, journals, streaming videos, and newspapers available through library search. And like I mentioned earlier, all academic libraries are organized by using the Library of Congress call number system. And I found this really great video on how to interpret and read call numbers. So my colleague Lexi will be offering a workshop in a few weeks on this. So I highly recommend you take that workshop. It'll go more in depth about using library search and the call numbers. But this is just about the concept of Library of Congress in general. So I invite you to watch that as well. Okay, I know that was a lot for the library website. I'm going to stop there. Let me know if you have any questions. I just want you to, the most important thing is that you start at wmich.edu/library. And then from there, really, if you get confused or lost or need help, which brings us to our next topic, we are here to help you with anything and everything related to navigating the physical spaces and navigating the virtual, the website. Like, that's truly our job. So if there are no questions about the website, I'm going to switch over to services and support. And this is really me highlighting the experts that are available to you in the libraries. So I've shown so many things and services that the libraries provide, and that means that people are coming to the libraries for so many different reasons. So if you're new to the library website or library space or services, what do you anticipate needing most help with? This is more out of curiosity, but this is just an example of finding materials for research, understanding different types of information, organizing a research project, developing a good research topic, navigating the website, or maybe it's anything from formatting citations or interpreting call numbers. Maybe it's all of it, and maybe it's something else. And if it's something else, I would love to hear. But yeah, let me indicate what you think as a new person to spaces, services, and experts. And then I'm going to see if any of these. Oh, that's so strange. None of the results are showing. That's too bad. Don't know. Let's see if this one's work. Oh, look. Okay. Finding non-library resources. Okay. Yeah. And two. Okay. All of the above. Yes. So thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. So finding non-library resources, I put that in because we are also a hub for the university. We can help, we can connect you with services and people across campus. If we can't help you with the question, chances are we know where to get that help. For example, the Writing Center. If you have a paper and you're trying to get, you need someone to proofread it, or you need someone to help you make it a tighter, better paper, we can connect you with the Writing Center. Maybe you're kind of stressed out about school and you're just feeling overwhelmed and we can't necessarily help you with that, but we can help connect you to counseling services. For example, we get questions about financial aid, or employment. We're a hub, so non-library resources, but also non-library resources could also mean, what if we don't have access to something? Can you get it? Yes, like we have a lot, like 4 million is a lot. That's not everything, we know that, so yes. Excellent. So hi G, I hope I'm saying your name wrong. What do you mean? I don't know. Oh, the poll here. Oh no, that's the wrong. I'm gonna give you the link to the guide that we're using. What I hate about WebEx is that if you come in after you send a link, you can't see the previous chat. I find that to be such a design flaw, but that's just me. So the poll should be on that page, but that's okay. But nice, thank you for stopping me. Okay, so with these topics, this is really indicating the types of things that we can help with, like from anything from organizing a research project, time management, or identifying a good research topic, to interpreting call numbers. Librarians and experts are here in the libraries to help you figure that out. So, and there are many, many ways that you can connect with us to get that kind of help. So the most important ways are the librarians themselves, the experts themselves. We have people in person at the front desk, at the user services desk. You can stop by, or at Zhang also, you can stop by there. You can also request an in-person appointment with a librarian to meet with you from anywhere from 15 minutes to 2 hours, or maybe you need multiple sessions. We're here to do that, and you can do all that here through this link. Maybe you don't want to meet in person, you can meet virtually as well. Even with scheduling an appointment, that can be via WebEx. I do it all the time. Super effective, sharing screens, it's great. Maybe you don't need an appointment. Maybe you just you have a quick question. You can also connect to a librarian by chat. So here we have, this keeps popping up. This is my chat button, right? So if I wanted to chat, a librarian is ready. I'm gonna say Kate, and I could just say, I need help with a call number. or I need help finding this article. And one of my colleagues, I sometimes answer chat. I'm on Thursday mornings, 9 to 11, I think. But we all rotate and take turns. So it's me, it's a live person. It's not a robot. Oh, good. Yeah. So yes, please make an appointment or chat. Like chat, sometimes if you're not sure, just start with chat. And if we feel like you need to come in or schedule an appointment or work with an expert, we'll connect you to that expert. So it's super low key. We help with anything and everything. So just remember that. Another thing I mentioned this right at the very beginning, is I want to remind you of, I want to refer you to one of the many, many research how-to and class guides that we've created. This workshop guide is one of these guides. I like to call these like on-demand mini library websites. So what these are is expert librarians like myself and my colleagues, we build these these mini library websites for you. And the goal is to take the guesswork out of the website and create a smaller, more manageable project for you. So for example, if I go to aviation, the aviation guide, which is developed by Ed Eckel, the engineering and aviation librarian, he has identified all the important databases and all the important skills and research tools that you need to use for your aviation academic classes. And if you can't find what you need here, you can immediately contact Ed here with his contact information. So we have hundreds of these guides. They are accessible 24/7. It's midnight, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you're working on a paper, librarians aren't answering emails or chat's closed. Start here. This is, notice if I scroll down, we have just about every single department represented. Here's COM 6400. We have we have specific books, specific databases. Just take the guesswork out of it. And then if you can't find your answer here, you can connect quickly to your subject librarian. These are essential, I think, just because they are on demand and they are available at any time you need. And then we do have a few that are more like how to avoid plagiarism, for dissertations or citing sources. These are also, so not just academic departments, but just like how do I do these like basic things kind of guides. So I can't emphasize that enough. And then again, we have specific ones for citing sources as well. And finally, tutorials, workshops, and events. I don't feel like I need to sell this too much, but yes, we have many, many, many workshops available, and some are still being added. So definitely keep checking back. We have one next Friday, research time management. We have decoding call numbers, getting yourself set up as a successful scholar. And then as I scroll down, we have an entire week in April dedicated to citations. Introduction to Mendeley, how to decipher and create citations, how to avoid plagiarism, etc. So keep checking back. This is still getting updated as we go on. And a lot of these you can find through the WMU signature program or for SPURS too. Oh, there's another typo, you guys. Ugh. Another way that you guys can connect is to check out our YouTube channel, or even connect via Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. That we do a lot of marketing for our to keep you up to date on our workshops and tutorials or events that are happening. Available, we push those out through our social media accounts. So that's a great way to stay connected. So the most important thing about experts, we are here. We can meet virtually, we can meet in person, we can, oh, and I didn't mention phone, but yeah, you can call us. So with that, I want to close there. Are there any questions about research help and support services that you might have a question? Are there any? So if I wanted to find government documents about a specific topic, what should I do? So yes, so that's a great question. So government documents are a part of Western's collection. We are considered a government document repository. So that means we house collections. I will say that the majority of government documents are available online. But let me show you really quickly. We do have a government documents guide, government information. Here we go. So I would start here, and I'm going to give you this link in the chat right now. And I can follow up with you after if you are working on an actual project. We can meet. There we go. So that's linking straight to this government documents guide, or you can contact Megan Brown. But we do have state and local government, for example, gives links to where you can start to think about searching. I hope that helps. Yeah, my pleasure. All right, so before we leave, I just want to see if there are any other questions about anything libraries related. And I would love it if you could tell me. I'm all about confidence. Like that's my goal, my teaching philosophy is I want to make sure everyone feels confident. So could you tell me, do you feel after this workshop, do you feel, I don't feel confident about my typing, that's for sure. Do you feel more confident, somewhat more confident, the same, less, or a lot less? I would love to just gauge that, just as a sense of make sure I'm hitting the right note. If not, oh, thanks, yay. Again, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I want to thank you so much for meeting me or joining me today. And was anyone here for Spurs or Signature? Because if so, I need to give you a link. And I'm giving you my email address there. If you ever want to follow up with me, please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, you can find me in Waldo Library on the 3rd floor in room 3015. Yeah, otherwise, we're running around doing stuff on campus, playing Pokemon Go. I'm addicted, full disclosure. With that, thank you so much, you guys, and I hope you have a great and safe weekend, and I hope to see you soon.